And a good morning to you. Glad to have you here this morning. The new gentleman in the chair is For Rembert. Not sure if you're familiar with For. He's a member of the community, been around for a while, but also been missing in action for a while. So we're glad to have him back. Cannon Page, good morning. She's babysitting. Richie, good morning. Carrie, good morning. Glad to have you guys. It is thick and hot out there today. We need to talk a little bit about how high school football practice is going in the heat. And the heat's with us this week. A little cooler next week, maybe some low mid-80s next week. So we'll see how that goes. Are y'all going in the afternoons?
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Get ready because school starts.
Yeah, it's hot. I mean, teachers are in work days, so, we're –
And school starts the 23rd?
Yeah.
So your first game is when school's not in.
Yeah.
Which I've never agreed with.
3 days before. I got mixed feelings about the start dates of school. I do think that, family time, vacation time, things like that are very important. And it's important to our local economies, both at the beach and in the mountains. And, the thing about school, there were so many things talking about, well, kids need to finish exams before Christmas. And someone even brought up how cruel it was, that kids had to come back after Christmas to take exams. Cruel? Okay, that's a first world problem. You know what I mean? We really need to think about what
careful how deep you make it
really means. Yeah. I heard a board member say that years ago. It was just so cruel to bring them back. I'm like, no, cruel is not knowing what you're going to be able to eat that night because someone, a dictator or something, controls the food supply.
It doesn't make logistical sense.
Yeah, I mean, come on. In this arbitrary number for 180 or 185 days. Okay, you know what? Make it work.
If I were in charge, and I'm not, but if
these are my favorite parts of the show, by the way.
Okay, if I were in charge,
right.
First of all, it would make sense. My daughter says, and she's in the DPI.
Yeah.
She said, calendar, law, and tourism lobbies are to blame, and that's true. Yeah. But here's my argument to that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. We get out the middle of June.
Yeah.
We go back the middle of August.
Yeah.
Now, I went to West Lincoln, but I was pretty good in math. That's 2 months off, correct?
Yeah, really 3 because you're getting out at the end now of May, so it's almost 3 months.
But we weren't. We were graduating in June.
Yeah, at one point.
Yeah,
and they need to. I mean, things have changed. Learning's changed.
Here's the deal.
Yeah,
Here's the deal. If you're worried about the tourism, okay, then you start back. Teachers start back the second week of August. Kids go back the third week. You graduate at the end of the third week. Teachers are done at the end of May. They've got a 10-month, which is what they do, of August 1st to the end of June contract.
Sure.
Here's the deal. There's 2.5 months of vacation time. Any way you slice it. You know what the big argument was here in Catawba County? And I hope I don't step on toes, and if I do, I apologize. This is Lanny's opinion, okay? Camp meeting.
Yeah.
Kids can't go to camp meeting if they're in school.
No, that's right. That's right. And
will somebody give me the percentage of the kids that are actually in there listening to camp meeting, or are they just hanging around? I've always heard there was more lives created than saved.
That may or may not be true. Okay, but it is important, and I think it's the local economy, but also the local traditions and values and things that that you do as a community, the local activities.
But nobody's going to stop going to camp meeting schools
anymore. Well, it made it real tough when they started August 2nd and camp meeting was going, through the end of July into August. It did, and again, it's not about camp, but it's a great example that you brought up. That it's about the local, economy, local activities, and things that people that live in that area, do. And, unfortunately, when it comes to education, it's a one-size-fits-all because what happens in, like Chapel Hill or Raleigh or Fayetteville or Wilmington is directly related to, what happens, or indirectly related to what happens in, like, Murphy and Elizabeth City, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And there's just, they're all on the same schedule. I get that, but I wish we started at Labor Day, me personally. I do. I wish we started after Labor Day. And another reason I'll bring that up, when we lived down in the eastern part of the state, we lived down in a place called Lake Waccamaw, right in between that and Hallsboro. It's on the way to Wilmington, okay? And my dad was teaching and coaching high school basketball and football and baseball at Hallsboro, which is now East Columbus. During football season, we did not have, I say we, I was like 8 years old as a manager on the team. All of our players were not able to make practice until Labor Day because they worked in the tobacco fields.
And that's exactly what Bill Klein said.
Okay, yeah.
In the old days, school didn't start till Labor Day because tobacco harvest.
Well, now, today's a different world. There's not that many people that work, and I'm not saying tobacco's I'm talking about the local economy, based on things. I think it would solve a lot of problems if we didn't start until Labor Day. All right? You stop it. And that way, exams aren't, done until the end of January. Okay, big deal. There's not many kids. I got to be honest with you, Lane. There's not many kids that take exams. Most of them are exempt.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me, unless it's a state.
Did you want my opinion on that too? I can give you that too.
Yeah,
because that's a crock.
As far as
the exams, because if you're going to have an exam, everybody takes it. I don't care what your grade point is. I don't care if you hadn't missed any days. When I taught school, is when they first started doing the end of course testing.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, I was doing it too.
I was working in DC.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you my biggest problem with that. With that, here's the problem, is if you were an EC kid, you couldn't fail. But they stressed them and made them take it.
Yeah.
If you failed, you got a D.
Right.
And whatever you made above that, if you got a C, you were given a B. You bumped it a grade point up. If you're going to do that, then does it really have meaning? Why are you stressing them out?
It's about checking boxes and people saying, look what we're doing. Again, it's all for the good of the kids. When you start talking about it's for the kids, you it's kind of like somebody saying, I'm from the government, I'm here to help. You better run the other way. It's the same thing when you hear about it's good for the kids.
Let me give you a couple of things here. Lindsay said, or go year-round and take your vacation on track out or when you're out. That does the year-round will never work because it doesn't work with parents' schedules. Yeah. It does when they're in school, but it's the out of school that doesn't coincide that they don't like it.
Yeah.
Richie said, and this is a great idea, but we can't live long enough for this to become reality. With e-learning, why couldn't you start at Labor Day and be out on Memorial Day and have your exams before Christmas or whatever, but you have so many online hours that are part of that education process? And I'm like you, what's the magic number of 180? And with e-learning, there should never be makeup days for snow anymore.
No, and quite honestly, I was really hoping Catawba County would, for the high school kids, not middle school and elementary, I was really hoping they would stick to the 4 days a week, because that is transitioning into the business world and into the collegiate world as far as receiving a grade in academics, and I think eventually that will be done. What I heard was that it's not fair to the elementary school and middle school teachers if the high school only works 4 days a week. Okay, again, that's
you said that ugly word.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the problem is with so many things, is worried about being fair instead of doing what's right for the growth and development of our kids at their different developmental stages. And worried about people's feelings. You have a choice. If you don't want to teach or you don't like the current schedule, get out and go do something else. I was a teacher. That's all I ever wanted to be when I was a kid. I was in the batter's box at Hildebrand Junior High in the middle of a baseball game, standing there, and all of a sudden I looked at the umpire and called timeout, shook my head a little bit and said, holy cow, I think I want to go to East Carolina, be a teacher and play baseball. I mean, I had one of those moments. Some people have them, some don't. But I remember when I had mine. And again, if you don't want to, if you don't like something, you've got a choice. But what we need to do is what's in the best interest of the growth and development of our nation's youth, and not about what's fair.
Lindsay's comment is dead on, not just because she's my kid, but you got to decide who gets priorities, parents or kids.
Well, and Lindsay, great point. And I think, I think that, you like you said, you got to have a combination and be able to work together on things. But as the kids are older, because they're more self-sustainable and can take care of themselves, feed themselves appropriately, these kind of things, or the numbers are higher in the percentages that can do that, then, that's where the catering goes a little bit. If a kid needs 5 days a week, it's a high school kid, they have that option. The teachers are still there working all day.
That's right.
So you got that option. I don't mean to go on a tangent, but I think that it calls for more, look about what's going on, in the big picture, and always looking out 10 to 15 to 20 years and what changes can we make now. Instead of reacting to things, we're being pro-actionary and going out. And I feel like a lot of our educators and, a lot of our administrators try to do those things, but they're hampered by, obviously the people that control everything on the public streams.
Richie, he's down in Greenwood.
Mm-hmm.
He said they'll see how this modified year-round goes. They started it this year. So far it's been received well, but we haven't gotten to the first 2-week break, and that's where it comes from. Newton Conover tried it. They were the only system, I guess, around here that went to it to see how it would work and didn't really work. Let me give you this. The definition of fair: marked by impartiality and honesty, free from self-interest, prejudice, or favoritism, okay? Conforming with the established rules, that's the scary one. Constant with merit or importance, okay? When you look at fair is such an open term and so personal and subjective, not objective. When you do things, they need to be objective so your personal feelings and interests do not come into play. I can remember when I taught at Gaston College, if we it was a great job. It was 9 months a year. You got every holiday known to man, couple weeks of Christmas, all this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But if we had to do something extra, come in for a day or whatever, the people that worked there that had never done anything with that would raise immortal hell over it. Yeah. Well, why do we have to do that? We're not getting paid. And I'm like, let me tell you how this works. Go get you a real job. 8 to 5, an hour each way fighting traffic, 2 weeks vacation, 5 holidays. Then complain to me.
Give me a call after that.
You've never experienced the real world.
Yeah.
Do not complain when you've got it made more than you believe you do.
That's a great point, Lenny. People only know what they know.
That's correct.
And to your point, a lot of times, when you're so used to something, you really don't see the benefits that. And I'm not talking about your health care. I'm talking about the actual benefits that come with what you do. Teaching was one of the greatest, jobs and enjoyment that I think I could ever have. I had basically, even though they say, you only work 10 months, you really work 9 because of vacations and holidays, right? And then you have a couple months off in the summer, and it takes you that long to get decompressed and try to get refocused. But you know what you do every year? You get excited, and you get geared back up, and you get in your classroom, and it's been cleaned, and you get your desk arranged, and what I'm saying is there's a lot of great things that go with being a teacher and or working in that building. But it's like you said, there's really no fundamental understanding unless you've ever done it of what's on that outside world.
Well, here's the deal, and I've said this before, and it was the reason that I quit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, coaching, because I only taught high school kids for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it had changed way too much. I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. Oh,
okay?
Yeah. There's no doubt.
But you only get into education because you want to be there.
Yeah.
You want to make the difference in a kid's life.
100%.
Not the schedule.
That's right.
Not the money. If you're not in it for that, you don't need to be there.
No.
Go get you another job because that's the only way it works. Todd, good morning.
Bill, good
morning.
That's a great point.
Let's see. Who else is in here?
It's a great point.
Bill Klein, good morning. Glad to have all you guys. We'll take our first break, and we'll come back, and we'll get into something else and see if we can't rip somebody else a new one.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Stifel Nicholas now has an office in your community. Stifel Nicholas is a full-service organization offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. These include money market funds, CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, retirement plans, and managed accounts, to name a few. Our financial advisors will sit down with you and help you tailor an investment plan, explaining strategies and investments which may help you achieve your personal goals. Call 4 Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. A little Zeppelin sound to bring you back. Stephen Lowe, good morning. Todd, good morning. Now, I am not a paid spokesman, okay?
Not yet.
These are, I don't even know who makes these. They are pretzel crisp, thin, crunchy pretzel crackers, and I like the garlic parmesan flavor. They are absolutely awesome. They look like this, okay? And I watch a lot of TikTok because I'm bored. But I like it for the recipes, and it gives me comedy material. I hear a lot of good jokes on there. So I haven't tried this, but I did see a simple, easy, no, I can't get name, image, likeness. Sorry, Richie. Morning, Becky.
Oh, God.
So I saw this really simple recipe that somebody took chicken breast, boneless chicken breast, cut them up into nugget size, Okay, and did the milk and egg, wash. They took a bag of barbecued potato chips and just crunched them to nothing, and that was their roll that they used, and then cooked them in an air fryer.
Okay, I'm going to fire up my Traeger. I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
Oh,
I want to try it with these. I'm going to try it with those.
That's awesome.
Because one of my favorite boneless flavors,
Yeah.
whether it's at B-Dubs or
Right,
East Coast,
right.
whatever, is the garlic parmesan.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they're really good. Some garlic parmesan's got a little too much bite for me, but I think that would be good, and that would be healthy.
You know what I do
chicken
with that?
breast, and it is this would be your breading,
Right.
and it would be in the air fryer.
That's really cool. I think I'd throw in some Frank's Red Hot sauce in that thing, too, just a little bit.
I don't like that hot stuff, Roy.
Oh, man, that sounds
I don't
good.
like that
That
hot
sounds
stuff.
good. Good stuff.
These are a bad snack. They're habit forming. I'll go ahead and tell you, I had to go to stop by the food line this morning. I needed some water and cookies, and I forgot. I said, let me switch off and get some
Water
of these.
And cookies.
The water's for the coffee drinkers. I don't drink coffee, but I keep water for them. Richie said he likes the mango habanero. Good for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, Richie's right.
Most
that
of the time,
is
I'm just
fabulous.
teriyaki. I'm just teriyaki. I love teriyaki
so
wings
good.
with some.
So I won a Buffalo Wings eating contest one time when I was in college. I won't go into too much detail on it, but when I was in school, the local wing place had opened up, and they'd been about a month. They had a Buffalo Wings eating contest. And
TJ,
so
good morning.
The Blazing. Mm-hmm. Ate 127.
Did you really?
In about 35 minutes.
You're the man.
Well, no, I've never been that sick in my life. For 3 days, I thought I was going to die.
I saw a thing.
It was.
I'm not a
and
flats
back then,
guy.
when you're a kid,
yeah,
you can do
I don't
that,
like
right?
flats. I like the drums.
Right.
But I saw a thing with the flats on TikTok. The right way to eat a flat: you turn it up long ways.
Yeah.
And you push it to the
Right.
bottom.
Right. And you suck it out
Yep.
and go with it. Yeah.
And you get
That's what I had to
every
do.
bit of it. Every bit of it.
The problem was there was multiple problems with this. Number one, it was the blazing sauce. Okay. Number two, if your hands got anywhere near your face, even if you were drinking the water real fast or whatever you were drinking to wash it down.
I can see that.
Okay. And then, the greatest thing about that, though, is about 30 minutes after that thing was over, I had to go, pee or whatever. And holy smokes. I'm surprised that bathroom wasn't burnt down. That was the most. People say, "Oh, you can't feel it through your." Let me tell you something. When you eat 127 blazing wings, you can feel it.
Annette Cook, good morning.
And I was a kid. I'll be very clear. I was still a young man and in very good shape, and that was okay.
I may have told this story.
So I'd eat 3 and die.
I may have told this story, but I'll tell it one more time. When I was a kid, I was about 12 years old, I guess. And back then, there used to be the Carolina Camera. John Carter does it a little bit now on Channel 3, but it was C.J. Underwood back in the day,
Yep.
and he would go to all these places. Well, he went to an old country store in Gastonia, and I could just about take you to where it used to be. It's been torn down now. But this guy did a 5-decker sandwich,
Okay.
And it was ham, cheese, lettuce, tomato. Okay, then mayonnaise or mustard, whatever you want.
That's so awesome.
And this sandwich, here's the weird part. This sandwich wasn't about $5-6, but this bad boy was about like this.
How, man?
Now, if you could eat that thing in 30 minutes, he'd give it to you. So I saw that, and I told my cousin, I said, "You got to take me down there. I can eat that sandwich."
It's incredible.
And the more I thought about it, I said, I think I'll go down there and buy one, bring it home, and practice, so I don't get embarrassed if I can't. So I went down there, and I told him at that time I didn't eat tomatoes, and I said, I don't like tomatoes. Does that change the thing? Oh, no, it doesn't. I promise. He would take a slice of bread. It was a big slice of bread.
Right.
And he had one of them slicing machines.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he'd lay it about that thick with that ham, and he'd set that one down. He'd pick up another bread. Did that 5 times. That thing filled up a brown paper bag. But these old men were sitting around the pot-bellied stove when I walked in. They said, "Son, you really think you can eat that sandwich?" And I looked as proud as I could at him. I said, "You ain't never seen me eat before, have you?"
That's awesome.
I went home and started on that sandwich. didn't even make a dent. It fed me lunch and me and my mom and daddy supper. That one sandwich. I would have been dramatically embarrassed, but I was convinced that I could eat that sandwich.
Lanny versus food.
That's it. But I didn't.
Oh, my God.
But I didn't.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, that's just one of my eating adventures. Let's see. I wanted to go we've got the NFL started. Did not watch all of the preseason, the Hall of Fame game, but, it is football. A lot of people were complaining, well, it's not much to watch. I'll take it. It is football.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Yeah.
But one of the things, Juge and I talked about it yesterday, as much as I hate to say it, I'm glad to see Tom Brady. I actually like Tom Brady now. Maybe it's because he got away from New England, but he's human. He just and I felt bad because some people were booing him when Peyton Manning thanked him for coming. And he said, we'll all be here for Tom's induction after he's been out of the league for the length of time that he needs to, and we'll be here for 2035 when he finally retires. So,
yes, yeah. There's so many things and so many there were so many things. There always controversy about things. People talk about breaking rules and cheating, and there's so many things that were. Well,
the saying is, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
It's people that don't. Anyway, so the problem is that a lot of those things that were going on were basically loopholes in the rules.
That's correct.
And they can be interpreted as cheating or taking advantage of things, but. And I'm not disagreeing with people that say that he did or didn't. Not him, but Belichick, New England, whatever. That's you can have your opinion. That's fine. The one thing that is undeniable is the preparation and the focus that Brady as a player and individual has to
from
be
the
able,
first day of practice on.
Right. And he's so diligent about things. And the reason that I feel he was able to develop that mentality for so long, and now he's going to reap the rewards and benefits of it, as a legacy, is because of the structure and the way things were done in New England. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say, well, he could have done that anywhere. Where do you know of a franchise that is focused on the process of doing things instead of, appeasing the individual players?
And I hate to say this, I have even more admiration for him because – this was the rule, this was the culture, this was the environment, and he wouldn't get a bucket.
No,
and if anybody could, it'd be him because of his talent.
No, right, but what it allowed him to do was to thrive in that environment. Mm-hmm. When you have a defined set of rules and expectations, you throw all the crap out the window and you focus on being the best you can be.
Yep.
Now, again, that goes against every norm, style versus substance in today's world. That's okay. But there is a reason, and it wasn't because of cheating or whatever, that the players are allowed to thrive in that environment. Now, they all know that their heads are on the chopping block at any time, and people, understand that, hey, it's tough. I have clients that live up right outside of Boston, 30, 40 minutes outside, that travel into the city every day. They're familiar with what's going on. They know the people. They know the players. They call Belichick Darth Vader.
Yes.
But they also –
you get him away from the field and out of that – he's a great guy. They say he's a ton of fun to be around.
Right. So think of it as, the CEO of a company or owner, whatever you want, that is focused on the task at hand and setting a set of rules and expectations within that – business, but yet when they're away, it's not business.
And you got to admire people that can flip that switch and separate the two, because a lot of people can't do that.
Maybe that's what defines portion of greatness. Maybe
I'm completely in agreement. Margie, good morning. Mm-hmm. Todd said, "Who are you guys scrimmaging?" I think I heard Butch say that the Polk County got changed? Y'all were supposed to go to Polk County, but Alexander Central's coming here?
Yeah, so what we did was we couldn't find an August 11th scrimmage. I mean, it's not that we waited or anything. With the compressed season, things just guys got together. A lot of the coaches got together real quick last year to go ahead and get this year planned out. And so we didn't have anything. Finally, Coach Alice at Polk County, who's done a great job
Absolutely.
for a long, long time, said, hey, look, we're doing a jamboree type. You can bring your JVs, which is what we wanted. We wanted to bring our JVs to get them at least one scrimmage in. And, it's a little bit of a drive, no problem. Playing against 2 or 3 teams, and then whoever JV, it's really undefined with the schedule, but they would get to play. Alexander Central, from what I understand, was scrimmaging another team that had some players that maybe got COVID or a protocol was set in place or whatever. Okay, so, Will talked to the coach up there and said, hey, look, or that coach called Coach Byrne and said, hey, look, we know you guys were looking at one point. What's the deal? We'll say, well, we're supposed to go to Polk County, but, if we could do something locally, and the coach from AC said, look, we'll come to you guys. Well, obviously, for multiple reasons. So we're going to do JV and varsity on Wednesday starting around 6. So we'll go varsity a little bit, let the JVs go, and then, we'll go varsity more. Now it's more of a practice setting scrimmage, but it's still going to be, like a scrimmage. And then Friday we go down to Mooresville and we're playing West Forsyth, which big 4A school for 2 quarters, kicking game and everything. The only thing we're not doing is returning punts. Okay, so that'll be interesting too.
Yeah. Jason
good
Moose,
week of football. Be fun.
It is not a compressed season, Richie. 10 games, 1 open week, 10 games in 11 weeks is the current format.
Yeah. No endowment. I don't know what.
It's like Beetlejuice. If you start talking about it, it'll rear its ugly head.
My head's getting ready to shrink after it explodes. Okay.
Mandy said that there will be concessions Wednesday.
Yes. On behalf of my wife and the other Booster Club members who work very, very hard, there will be concessions.
When I was working at West Lincoln and we had graduation in stadium, we had concessions.
You're doggone right.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was hot. You had lots of cold drinks.
Pretzels, popcorn.
Pretzel chips. They make different flavors. I'm trying to get an endorsement deal here, but you'd like those. You'll like those.
And lots of soft drink and water.
Yeah. Have they talked to you about, and just a programming note, Juju be here tomorrow. Coach Lubowitz from East Lincoln will join us in studio tomorrow. I got to get Will in
Great
too.
Great guy.
And
does a good job. Good fellow.
Have they talked to you about protocols, testing, any of that kind of stuff? Juju sent me a text last night. Hickory Public Schools has mandated masks for everybody indoors. I don't think Catawba Valley has come out yet. Newton Conover is optional. I'm just wondering, have they talked to y'all about a protocol for testing or how it's going to work or anything like that?
I know that I was looking at the forms that my son brought home. Obviously that they give the right to test and those kind of things. There's not been a lot of talk of it. I'm sure that as
not
cases,
something happens,
right? Well, I'm sure as cases, until there is something to talk about, right? And I'm sure as the cases come up, and there will be, that they'll be, they'll be more clear on, what's going to happen, how long you need to do this, how long you need to do that. There's a lot that's been learned in the last year and a half, and I feel like there'll be a lot more.
The other thing that I think will happen, and it'll be interesting, I'm curious to see the way things are trending if Governor Cooper takes any type of additional steps. And then I'm curious to see what the response of the High School Athletic Association will be, because now they've kind of taken a back seat and they're not out there pioneering anything.
Well, that is a topic for a show that we could run for a week nonstop.
Yep.
So, Lenny, there's there's a lot of things that have gone on in the last 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really feel like that there needs to be some major changes in the way that things are done on behalf of high school athletics.
I agree.
Not only from the High School Athletic Association, which there's a lot of fine people that work there, but there needs to be some things that are revamped.
And it's coming
because
that's the part of what happened with the meeting is I think the legislature got its point across that we're getting involved. You can either be with us or we'll just take over. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do, because everything kind of slowed down after that. And it needed to, because if the legislature wants to do something, make sure you got everything in place before you pull the trigger on the thing, because you don't want to go to something that's just a hodgepodge mess. You better have something in place.
Yeah, you're so right. And I think in this world, today's world, there's two words that go hand in hand: comfort and entitlement. Mm-hmm. And that could be on any level, at any whatever, whether it be job or personal life or anything else. And I think those two words really need to be revisited, and in reflection being done between those two.
Let me take a break. David Willis, good morning. Todd says that South has got Drone and RS Central on Wednesday, and then on Friday they've got Saint and East Surrey.
And East Surrey, yeah. I keep up with. Hey, really glad about South Caldwell. Casey Justice, head coach down there. I actually babysitted him when he was a kid. I grew up in Burke County. Okay, I say grew up. They moved when I was like 10.
That's right next to McDowell.
Smackdowell. That's what we call it, Smackdowle. But I went to East Burke, grew up in Valdez, and the young lady I was dating at the time, we were in high school. A lot of her kinfolk on her dad's side were from the Granite Falls area. Her dad went to high school there. And so when I wasn't driving yet, so she's like, "Hey, I'm babysitting." I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll go with you, and you can drop me off at the rec center. I can play basketball." So that's how I met all these guys out there. And Casey was like just born, and we were babysitting him. That was really cool. And I got to coach against him in Legion when he was a coach, and I don't think I coached when he was a player at Caldwell, but when he was a coach. And now he's a head football coach at South Caldwell, and just really glad for him. Great guy, and he's got a lot of energy, enthusiasm, got a lot of great ideas, and he's going to do a good job. He's a right guy for that job. So very glad for him and the community there.
Take a break. We'll be back in just a moment, and we're going to talk about something that somebody have to explain to me because I have no idea what it is and why it's working.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Times Convenience Stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times Convenience Stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times Convenience Stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Stifel Nicholas now has an office in your community. Stifel Nicholas is a full-service organization offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. These include money market funds, CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, retirement plans, and managed accounts, to name a few. Our financial advisors will sit down with you and help you tailor an investment plan, explaining strategies and investments which may help you achieve your personal goals. Call 4 Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. Welcome back. Glad to have you. Yeah, no, I ain't flipped the cameras yet. It's nothing to look at.
Flipped your lid, but not the cameras.
Garlic and Parmesan.
Oh,
Pretzel
God.
crisp, just in case you're wondering. Proudly displayed with the 25 pounds of gold and my autographed helmet. Make sure I got everything covered here this morning. All right, here's what somebody needs to explain to me. Bob said it loved the way the Lohman brothers wasted no time in getting their teams together. And that's what you want to do. Friendly competition.
Absolutely.
Okay, somebody that's smarter than me needs to explain the new, it's called non-fungible tokens. NFTs. Non-fungible tokens. They are what is considered digital trading cards. And I'm trying to figure out, above all things, how in the world would you not be able to duplicate that? How could you be assured that there's only 100 of those? You got any ideas on this? I've read about it, but I'm still, I mean, I like the way that you don't have to worry about them ever going away. They can store them in the cloud and all that kind of stuff, but
so I can't.
They're getting ready to drop.
There's a couple things about that I can't comment on for job
business reasons.
Right,
yeah.
right. But what I will tell you is that authenticity and originality, are supposed to be paramount or the key, with these things, right? Mm-hmm. Wes, obviously,
mm-hmm.
Wes has talked about it. I know you and I have talked about it some, with about him and things like that. I just if there's always going to be an equal and opposite reaction to everything that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And the counterfeiting side of things, when people say it cannot be duplicated, it cannot be, that's like saying, oh, that'll never change. It's always been this way. And then what happens? Somebody finds a way.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but
but people are looking at these as investments.
Yes.
And because look. Here's this, and you see this right here. Yeah. There's my certificate of authenticity.
Yeah, right.
So now, does it matter? Is that helmet for sale? Absolutely not. It's mine. It's a collector.
Yes.
Does it have value? Yeah. Can I back up what it is? I've got a. You haven't seen it here.
Right.
I've got a Kevin Green signed Panther jersey, autographed. That's framed. It's got the certificate of authenticity to it. But you can see it. It's right there. You can see this. The digital thing, I don't know how.
So this is where you're seeing the merge between hard, touchable, feel assets versus the digital world. You're starting to see the convergence and people trying to figure out how to make that work in the new way of doing things.
This has been around for 7 years, according to Eddie White. Good morning.
So it's still in its infancy.
It says, here's what it says. NFTs created in 2014 serve as a digital asset of unique items that live online.
And cannot be
duplicated or copied.
Yeah.
Think of them as digital trading cards, although they can be anything from autographs, pieces of art, sound clips, whatever. They don't run the risk of damage and are easily authenticated. Yeah. Folks, have you seen ransomware and people stealing your identity? And there's supposedly going to be this frenzy about it, and I can understand it. But to me, I have no interest.
Right. So that's where I think the key is in this. In the digital world, for the people that are about those type of things, that's where the interest and value will come from, right? Not from people that like to see assets that you can touch, that have, that you can feel, that you can see directly in front of you, that are hard. I think that's where the value comes in. It's all about in the eye of the beholder and what's important to them. I think
everything of value is.
No, but I think it's like anything else. You, and I say you, let's just give, I'm just throwing a random thing out there. You may value a pen full of chickens, okay, and say, they produce a lot of eggs. If I get mad at one of them, they're going to be on the kitchen table. I'm just giving an example, okay? Yeah. But then, I may be a guy that says, you know what, I have no interest in that. I'm just going to go buy them from the store. Mm-hmm. So it's all about, what's in the eye of the beholder. And I think understanding why some people think that's valuable is going to be the hardest thing, because it's not actually something that you can grab like the face mask here or take the frame off the wall. Now,
I'm not going to ask you to comment a whole lot about this one, but I'm gonna throw it out there. This is a total sidebar because it's just another thing that I don't understand. The whole Bitcoin thing. We actually, in some of our locations, have Bitcoin ATMs, which I never thought I would see, because you're converting that. And the problem is, and I'm surprised the government's not gotten involved already, it is another form of currency, and I thought that was against the Constitution or the law or something, that you couldn't have other forms of currency kind of thing. Yeah. But I link it to the same thing here. It's something, and it's got value, and it will grow, but I just can't wrap my mind around it. Like, give you an example. Patrick Mahomes, okay, in one night in March, sold $3.4 million in NFTs.
Yep.
Brady's Bucks teammate Rob Gronkowski, his trading card collection on OpenSea sold for $1.2 million.
Right.
That's not the average collector, folks.
Right.
That's not who can do that. I'll take my $5 Dwight Clark card I've got over there. Like, I've actually been out there shopping some things here again that mean to me. I have found an autographed number 53 Washington Redskin Jeff Bostic jersey.
Absolutely.
Okay, that I played with,
played
beside us.
Right.
for $100. That's worth more to me than that 1.2
Again,
collection from
I get
Gronkowski.
it. Eye of the beholder, I get it.
And I could put it right there on the wall, and anybody that walks in,
And they
two
can
guys
do
were
this.
there were two
can
guys
touch
in
it,
here
rub
the other
it,
way,
feel
and they
it.
were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Man, this is awesome." I thought most man caves were in your house. I said, "Well, this is my man cave.
This is the house.
This is
baby.
it. This is it."
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things, and I guess I'm just old, but I don't understand it, and
Right,
it's
right,
going to be
right.
kind of like collecting art. I couldn't collect art, pieces of art, not real art.
It's like the Topps baseball cards.
Uh-huh.
You know the things that come out. It reminds me. I'm not going to mention any names. There was a guy that was drafted one time, real late rounds, and 30 some years ago, and Topps approached him before he was deciding whether he wanted to go to college or go pro, and they said, "We're going to give you 5 big ones for for us to do a card." And that guy said, whoever that guy was, said, "Wow, 5 big ones?" Thinking $5,000. That guy said, "No, 5 big ones. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5." Hey, it's a hard, tangible asset that would probably not be worth 5 cents today. But the point of all that is that the Topps cards. My brother Aaron's got a great collection. Of those things, old school. He's just a real old school kind of guy. Anyway, when he walks, he squeaks, and he can rub 2 pennies together and a quarter drop out. Right?
Becky, you still watching?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, we all know. We all know.
Did I say that out loud?
But again, the hard, tangible, assets on things like that are what most people understand is the traders in the digital world that, like you were talking about, with this new way of doing things.
Becky said, up. "Yep."
Yeah, Becky's great, man. They're cool. They're cool. But,
yeah, we had that argument. We had a dog birthday party the other day, and I don't really want to get into it, but because our littlest dog had a birthday, and everybody brought their dogs, and we got into a discussion between thrifty and cheap.
Yeah.
And
is there really a difference?
yeah, I think there is.
I know. I'm just saying.
I think there is. But we did have that slight discussion. But there's always going to be collectible things. I always said this when Wes was younger and the internet had just started coming about. He's always been the junk man. He's always been the buyer and seller. He used to buy and sell Pokemon cards. I mean, and there's still some people that do that. In everything, depending upon what it is, and then he still does that. But there's certain things like I see that I think would be value, and he'd say, "No, it's been too mass-produced. There has to be a limited amount of it on there for it to have value." But, again, the stuff that I go after is stuff with the personal connection. Now, I mean, some of the jerseys I've got up here don't have personal connections, but, if I want something that's got a signature or something like that, an autograph – those are the things that I like because it means something to me. I like pieces when people collect stuff and they have a story that they can tell with it.
Yep.
Like when I was showing these guys around that crawdads. If you're from here, you would understand.
Absolutely.
That's one of 1,000.
Yes.
Of the original crawdads,
right?
On a poster with signatures.
Yeah.
That's got a story. Now, I paid $20 for it. Right. I probably would have paid more just to have it because it was here. But to have that type of thing, I just think I got more pictures. I've got 5 autographed wrestler pictures that I've got to get put up. Wes picked up a new one from the $1 Million Man.
Oh,
Ted
yeah,
DiBiase.
Ted.
And so I've got 3 of those that I got to get framed and put up. But I've never been a collector. I was never into baseball cards and football cards and all that kind of stuff. And Wes is in it, but he's into it for money. When we would take those trips at these shows, he'd be like, "Let's split that $1,000 worth of baseball cards. There's at least X rookie, X." I'm like, "Dude, no, stop. Don't make me tackle. You're not buying that $1,000 box of unopened baseball cards." But that's okay. That's just the way kind of that he rolls.
I got one for you on baseball cards.
Okay.
My grandfather was born in 1908.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away, over 23, 24 years ago. He was 89. When he was like 35 or 40 years old, he was telling me that he had a box of like baseball cards that his older brother had, collected it, that he'd given to him. Of course, he had passed away early. And my grandfather's like, I just didn't see anything about that. I just put it out with the trash. I would like to mention some names that some of you may or may not be familiar with. Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb.
Wow.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Okay. On that note, I'm going to tell you a quick story, and I may have told this story too. When you say that, my grandmother's family were farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds of acres of land. They did cotton. They did cows. I can remember when I was just a kid riding with my grandpa from country store to country store peddling sausage because we had made sausage and those kind of things. So my grandmother, they invested. When my grandmother passed away, she had some ancient Duke Power stock. They invested in the stock market. That's how they made their money.
Sure.
And they had a family member that had started. They were out of Richmond. Their last name was Kathy, kind of related to the Chick-fil-A Kathys. My grandmother's family on the Clark side goes back to the Kathys, and they had started. They got the franchise for a Coca-Cola bottling plant in Richmond. Used to be one in Lincoln.
Right.
Watched the Coke bottles go down the aisle.
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely.
So they contacted my grandmother and wanted them to come in because they were family, give them first opportunity. So they did. But they sold it very early on because they just didn't – they thought that was a fad and that would never amount up to anything.
Absolutely.
So like those Ted Williams cards and those – can you imagine what that had been worth if you were one of the original bottling companies? What Coca-Cola bottling?
There'd be a big Coke bottle here instead of the
That's
pretzels.
right. I'd have the Coca-Cola. I might even drink Coke. I don't even drink Coke. I drink Pepsi. I don't like Coke.
You do out of just no anyway.
No, I don't because they screwed it up when they did the new Coke, and I never forgave them. Never forgave them for that.
That's a good story.
Let me give you a couple on this day. 1934, the Babe announces this is his final season as a full-time player. Let's see. Twins' Harmon Killebrew is 10th to amass 500 home runs and adds his 501 for the Twins on this day in 1971. Pete Rose breaks Stan Musial's record on this day in 1981, 3,631 career hits. I don't know how many he had in all, but he added some more to that.
Over 4,000.
Over 4,000? Yeah. Billy Martin Day, 1986. His uniform number one was – there's nobody been more fired and hired by the same teams than Billy Martin.
He just wants to fight somebody. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
1991, you remember Paul McGuire?
Paul
McGuire
yeah.
Suffered a heart attack on this day at the age of 53. I remember he was on he was NBC, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he?
Yeah.
1997, the Braves signed Greg Maddux to a record 5-year, $57.5
that was
million
one of the
deal.
Greatest acquisitions and moves
And that was
ever.
$57 million for 5 years, not per year.
That's 20 years. I mean, that's legitimate, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's legit.
Yep. And where it's gone now, what it is now, it's absolutely
I have
amazing.
one on this day.
Okay.
From this past Saturday.
Yeah.
I met my wife.
Oh, good for
at
you.
maiden football practice. Her uncle, Robbie Abernathy, is my best friend. Mandy was bringing Robbie's daughter out, Taylor, who was 4 years old at the time. She was babysitting her that day while Robbie's coaching football because Baby Joe was working.
She's still mad that they went to Disney without her, but that's a different story.
And she's furious. And she walked out, or she was out there, and Robbie's mother, Grandma Sue, had set it up. And that's when I met her.
Matchmaking.
It was, and it was right before we started the Oklahoma drill. It was into water break. And so she walked down, and Robbie said, real loud. Now, Mandy just graduated like 4 years earlier, I believe, 3 or 4 years earlier, okay? And I was like 23, 24, all right? 25. No, I think it's 25. And, he's like, Mandy, this is Coach Ribbert. Robbie's voice, Coach Ribbert, this is Mandy. And then all her friends that she went to school with were out there watching the first day of hitting. It was priceless. They all turned their heads around. It's Maiden.
Well, it's small town. And if you had done it, everybody would have found out within 12 hours.
Well, they already knew before it happened, right? That's the way it works here. But anyway, so she walks off after I met her. I told Robbie, I said, I'm going to marry that girl. So he's like, I'm not getting into all that now. I'm just introducing y'all. So that night we went on our first date with Robbie, Betty Jo, and Taylor in the minivan.
There you go.
So we go back to my mom and dad's. I was in between houses at that time, staying there for about a month, you're in between. So Robbie and Betty Jo dropped me and Mandy, Taylor dropped me and Mandy back off at mom and dad's house that time in Mountain View. So we go out back and we're just sitting around the pool talking, just getting to know each other. My mom and dad pull their chairs up. Mandy, honey, tell us about yourself. I said, shit, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, you were done.
But yet she still hung around.
There you go. She got through the initial test.
She was under the spell. She just didn't realize. It took her
right.
a couple weeks to figure it out.
That's right.
Okay?
She didn't know what her future had, but everybody else had decided.
Pray for my wife.
On this day in 2015, we lost Elsie Baker. We know him as Buddy Baker.
Buddy Baker, yeah.
74 back on this day. See if I can pick a birthday or two here quickly. I don't read as quickly as other folks. I'm just glad that I do read.
There's
just not
nothing
real well.
in there, man. I don't recognize any. I can barely see it, but I don't recognize
Kenny
any.
Perry, born on this day 1960. He's a golfer.
That was Steve Perry's brother from Journey?
No,
okay, sorry.
Riddick Bowe.
Oh,
you remember Riddick Bowe?
Yeah.
He was born this day in 1967. Gino Torretta.
Yep, remember Gino. Absolutely.
Born on this day
Played at
in
Miami,
Panola, California.
How about that?
Played at the U and played for the Seals. Born this day in 70. Had to get up here to some of these young bucks. See if any of them we recognize quickly. A lot of cricketers. Cricket's just
Northern
a big game.
Irish football?
Yeah. Cricketers
I don't even know what that means.
I know. I don't either. Have a great day. It's National NFT Day, just in case you're wondering. If you don't do anything else today, go spend $1 million on an NFT. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.